Good morning. Welcome back to another vlog. We are resetting our life today. It's actually Tuesday, but let's pretend it's like a Sunday or Monday. We just got home from our Easter weekend trip to Disney. Big boys are off to school. It is a rainy, dark day. Like it looks extremely dark for what is it, like 7:30-ish right now? Just finished up my coffee with collagen. I'm gonna go get dressed. Since I can't walk outside, I'm gonna hop on my walking pad and start walking for the morning. But first I need to fix this up. I did dye my hair last night, my grays. So hopefully those are all covered. I haven't even checked yet. It's raining so loud you can probably hear it. I'm gonna make my morning drink, which is creatine. I really need to hydrate. When we're at Disney, I literally drink like 1 glass of water a day. I'm so bad about it. So I need my scoop of creatine, L-glutamine for gut health, because I also need that after a Disney trip. Tides, I like Fit. This helps curb my cravings, reduce my food noise. It really works. I'm also gonna do Energized. I don't know if I want to mix these two together though. It's not the best flavor combo. Just gonna do that. And then my next glass, I'll do Energized. So Fit helps with muscle recovery, endurance, strength, and it's just like a thunderstorm. And then Lean helps with like curbing cravings, food noise, appetite, and then energized helps with energy. So I'm gonna take this, I walk on my walking pad, and then when I drink all this, I'll fill up with the Energized. I'm going to walk for the next half hour to hour, depending on when Sunny wakes up and time frame and all that. But I usually like to do an hour walk outside Monday through Friday. And that's obviously not happening. After I'm done filming, I'm gonna bump up the speed to probably 3.0. That way I can still like get work done on my phone and get my steps in. I started keeping these in my workout room. It's my, what do they call this? Hypochlorous acid. So this helps like to kill any bacteria on your face after you sweat if you don't have time to like wash your face. I also use this as a toner from Clear Stem, and then I have the Clear Stem lip balm. This is a great line if you're acne prone. It's all acne safe. And I just started keeping this in here because like I already washed my face this morning, but I'm not gonna go wash it again right now. You know, I will like when I get ready. And so far my kids have not noticed it. But Sunny is still asleep. I literally walked for 45 minutes and I've just been working with Michael on getting my YouTube video that you guys have already seen up and ready. Because I had a couple clips on my phone I had to send him. He's still asleep. I'm like, okay. I refilled my water with my other peptide, and I think I might just do my workout. So it's Tuesday. Usually Tuesdays I do shoulders, but because we were at Disney yesterday, I missed my leg day. And I'm like, I just don't know if I have it in me to do a leg day right now. So I might just do the Tuesday shoulders and do my leg day tomorrow. That way I know for sure I can get it done faster too. So I'm just gonna do that because it sounds funny. Okay, actually they just pulled up to deliver my groceries, so I'm gonna clean out my fridge a little bit first. I don't have a lot of like food in here. We just have so much random junk that needs to get thrown away. And I always forget to do this on like trash day. And so then I feel like I need to wait till the next week when really it just kind of needs to get done. Fridge is cleaned out a little bit. We had like some milk and then we just had like some dairy and dips. And so it just was kind of strewn about in there. So that is cleaned out and good. Now I'll show you what I actually picked up from. I did Sprouts today. I honestly don't do Sprouts too often anymore because I find that they just never have what I need. So a lot of times I do Publix and Costco right now. But it's one of those things where I have products that I get always from Costco, products that I get always from Publix, things that I only get at Sprouts slash Whole Foods, and then I even have some things that I get at Target. And so it's like I have to kind of make the rounds each week. Like I love the Good Culture cottage cheese, and I can only ever find that at Target. And I love the Costco Greek yogurt, and so I can obviously only ever find that there. But like Sprouts, I love Sprouts meat. Specifically, like this 3 pack of ground beef is my favorite. I will get the Costco ground beef too. I've actually started to really enjoy that, but I really like Sprouts. Steak too. This is like one of my favorite steaks to make like fajitas. It takes 2 seconds. And then I like this pasture bird chicken. So I kind of just got like the basics this week. Some chicken breast, some 93.7 ground beef. I keep having to shut it and open it because it's beeping at me. Another thing that I usually get at Costco is that A2 milk that I grabbed. This one just because I didn't feel like making 2 orders, and I don't know if I'm gonna have time to go to Costco. Sonny loves these yogurts, so I always have to be stacked on deck because him and Rocco eat them like crazy. He doesn't absolutely I give him that A2 milk, and he is starting to actually really enjoy it, but he also just really loves yogurt, and so I just try to give him, like, one or the other. Eggs, another thing I normally get at Costco, just because I like the bigger box. So, I got this shrimp, and it doesn't look amazing, but I saw someone on TikTok got it, and it looked really good and, like, fresh. It doesn't look that fresh, not good. We'll see. Some cantaloupe, some strawberries. That do not look good either. This is the thing about Sprouts that I'm just yeah, Sprouts, but also just Instacart in general. I'm starting to get annoyed with because it's like, you're paying for Instacart, you're paying for delivery, you're paying for tip, like you're paying so much extra for the convenience of it, and they kind of just don't care. Like the other day, we had a delivery where they like forgot to drop off 10 of our items and was like 70 something dollars worth, and I was like, "Hey, you forgot the items." And I said it like immediately, like, saying like, "Turn around." And they were like, "No, we didn't." And I was like, "Yes, you did." And they're like, "I disagree. I don't think we did." So they just like literally ignored it. But that's what we got. Okay, some stuff for pasta, tortillas. I got some more fruit, and that is it. You did? What? I don't know what you're saying, but it sounds funny. Starting my makeup, and then I figured you might want to see this because I've been doing this routine for the past few weeks and it's a little bit different than what I normally do. I talked about this on Instagram, but I got my colors done. My mom actually got certified in it because she opened a boutique here in Sarasota, and it's like a service that she offers at her boutique. And so when she was going through this like certification for it, you had to like have models, and I got to be one, and so her like class or whatever did my colors. And I always thought I was warm undertone. I've always gone for gold jewelry, bronzy makeup looks. I always thought of myself as like an autumn color palette. So I wore a lot of tan and ivory and olive green. And then when she did this for me, and she's like, "Nope, you're actually she called it a toned winter." And so it's kind of the complete opposite. And so it's colors like it's colors like white and black, like true white, true black. It is colors like a bright blue, it's colors like a red, like a blue red. It's just those cooler toned colors that I normally don't go for. Even like foundation, I would always go for a more like yellow based, and now I'm going for more of like that beige neutral. I go more neutral when it comes to my foundation and concealer and stuff, because although I and want to follow that color palette, I do have naturally like pretty tan skin, and so I don't go too cool because sometimes it can kind of go synonymously with fair, and I'm not necessarily fair, but we do want that high contrast. And so I've changed up my makeup routine and like a lot of the products that I use. So I do think that's why my hair does tend to like look better now that it's dark. I just dyed it and washed it last night. So if you can still see like the hair dye. Oh, I told you earlier. Yeah. Look, I had like this breakage. I think this is just like from being done nursing and like my postpartum hormones. Like, what is that? It's on both sides. Frustrating. But okay, so I just did my brows. I really need to like do my brows, like tweeze them and shape them, but I didn't do that today. So for brows, I'll show you what I use. Let me move. I have to move this a little bit. Yep. So I love the Anastasia brow pencil. I love the NYX one, whatever. I changed this even. I do this in a different color now. I have ash brown. I used to do like a espresso chocolatey brown. And then I do the clear brow gel from Rare Beauty. I love this stuff. So that's the brows. And then for foundation, I've been testing out a few different ones. I tested out this CL Tint and Protect. I love the way this looked. However, I do think it broke me out, even though it's supposed to be acne safe. So I haven't really been reaching for that. I did recently repurchase Armani Luminous Silk. I haven't used this in years, but it was always one of my go-tos. So I repurchased this in like the mini size. And when I do want like foundation, I've been wearing this and loving this. And then I also always do the Merit Stick. So this is kind of like my go-to, my favorite that I have repurchased over and over and over again. If you are acne prone, like I just consistently go back to it. It just lays really nicely on the skin. I will say, also with like just my hormones changing and everything, my skin has been more on the oily side, which is not typical for me. I know I'm acne prone, so you would think I normally have very dry, dehydrated skin no matter what. And it's been oily lately, and it's been separating on me like around my mouth. It's been getting oily, and it's frustrating because like I have not changed my routine at all or anything. So although I really love those foundations, I just kind of went back to using this every day. And then I still use this in the same color. I bought a new color, but I ended up not liking it. So I just kind of do a light coat of this wherever I need it. But I did change my concealer to the Kosas concealer, and I love it. So that's what I have under my eyes right now. I have two shades. I do, whoa, BU under my eyes. It's brightening and it's more of that cool pink undertone. And then I have shade K-Town for spots or on my face. So I do really, really enjoy this concealer. It's a serum concealer. It's very hydrating and pretty. So I love that. And then the other new product that I've changed is my blush. So for the longest time, I was doing the Rhode blushes. I have a couple of them here. Which one was I mainly wearing? Sprinkle, I think, which is more of like a peachy pink. Okay. So you can see this is more of a warm toned. This is a peachy pink. I switched to a cool tone pink, and it has brightened my skin and given me that high contrast. It's kind of funny because I saw a girl's video who, this like a couple months ago, and I thought she had similar like skin tone to me and coloring. And so I was like, ooh, it was a makeup video. I'm like, let me see what she uses. And she used that serum concealer, and then she used an Armani blush, and it was in a baby pink shade, and I was gonna buy it. And then when I was checking out, I saw this one, and I was like, you know what, I'm actually gonna do this, because Say is a little bit more for those of us that like a quick 5-minute makeup, and we like sheer makeup and natural makeup. This is gonna be better. The Armani Luminous Silk was more of like for your full coverage, full face, like nighttime makeup. And I wanted to be able to wear that bright pink color like every day in a more natural way.
feel like I have a brush hair on my face. So that's where this came in. It is in the shade Baby. It's called the Dew Blush, and it's perfect. It's so brightening and pretty. And then I also have changed my placement a little bit. Like you can see, I really do the tops of my cheekbone, like almost right under my eyes. And I also go pretty heavy-handed with this. I know I should turn a light on. I will at the end so you can like see what this looks like. I always dust a little on my nose. Okay, and then I also switched up the powder that I use under eyes. So this is the Kosas, and this is the Cloud Set Translucent Candy. And so it's like a pink setting powder. So this is really nice because this kind of just further enhances that under eye brightness, and it kind of enhances that cool factor, enhances the blush a little bit. It's just really brightening. So I'm trying to go for that cooler toned, high contrast look. And then for the rest of the face, I still go in with a Typology. This is just my regular translucent setting powder. And what I actually really like is I always go in with this one after, so a little bit is still on my brush of the pink. So it's kind of like mixed in a way, and I just go over the rest of where I put the foundation, the Merit. Okay, so that's it. And then occasionally I will set with the Kosas Blush is Life. It's like a bright pink blush. And then occasionally I will go in with a little Too Faced bronzer. And this is like, I think I've done this like 3 or 4 times in the past month. Like, I don't know. I don't do this often because this is now like we're going back to warm tones. But it is kind of just fun sometimes just to do it. Just like right there. I don't really wear makeup on my forehead. I know people always think that's weird. Okay. And then for lips, I've bought some really pretty lips, and they are not up here right now. They're in my purse, so I'm gonna have to go grab that. But I have been wearing mascara a little bit more frequently, like not a lot, but occasionally, because that high contrast black does help. So I'm just gonna curl them today. My lips downstairs, so I'll show you that when I go get it. I'm gonna fix my hair. I forgot to show you the final look. So the lip is Charlotte. Why you did that? So the lip is Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk with a Fenty lipstick and a gloss. I will link it, but that's the final little makeup look, and I had to get some work done, and now I have some lunch. So I just made Sunny some chicken sausage, and then I'm like, you know what? I will eat the leftovers. So I have a half a chicken sausage here, if you want to know the exact one. This is it, the Adels from Costco. And then I have that Sprouts shrimp. I just heated that up on the stove with some cottage cheese, some pickles, and a cantaloupe. So it's a very like hodgepodgey lunch, but it looks really yummy. So I like a little snack plate. It's dinner time. I normally don't vlog at dinner time, but I want to show you what I'm making for dinner because it's very simple and easy. So we are doing steak fajitas tonight. I actually gonna use a little bit of that shrimp too to add some shrimp pieces in because I didn't finish it. But I have that steak that I showed you guys this morning that I got from Sprouts. I just have it in a little bowl marinating with some olive oil and a little siete seasoning. That's so sad. I can just see him standing at the door. My parents just came over for a little bit and he's standing at the door sad that they're leaving. I cut up the bell peppers and the onion that I bought, and I'm just gonna saute these in some olive oil. Okay, making an absolute mess. But I'm basically gonna cook this the same way. I'm just gonna saute that in a little olive oil and the rest of the seasoning packet here. So I end up using the whole thing. And then I have some rice going in the rice cooker. I actually just finished the bag, but I always use this same jasmine rice. It's so good. I just have that going in the rice cooker. Or you could do with tortillas, of course. What are you eating? Rocco. So of course you could do it in tortillas. I think that's how I'm gonna do it for the boys because they'll probably like it that way. And I make, you weren't supposed to eat them. I think I'm gonna do it with some, do I have refried beans? No, I found some. I have some refried beans, a with our fajitas. We're making it happen tonight. This is just like an easy 10-15 minute dinner, and this also saves really well for the next day too. If you're really being lazy and you don't want to cut up bell peppers, my favorite freezer bell peppers are the Pura Vida fajita vegetables, the fire roasted. To be honest, like they even taste better than freshly cutting them myself, but it's such a small bag. I used to be able to get them at Costco. I can't find them anymore. And so this really is only like 1 or 2 servings when you cook the whole thing. So if you're wondering how I cook this, it's chaos. If you're wondering how I cook the steak and the peppers, I just saute them like normal, push them to the side, and then I put the steak on top or on one side. 2 minutes, minute or two, flip, to the other side. Then I'm gonna kind of push that over, and I'll do the rest of the batch here, and then I'm gonna start doing the beans too. My stove is so bad. So with the beans, I add a little water, of course. They don't like it super thick. I'll add a little garlic, onion powder, and then my secret trick to make refried beans really creamy, I add a little Greek yogurt. Yep. Okay, so that's been like a minute or 2 on each side. So I'm gonna move this steak off and do the rest of it. Because I don't want it like to get overcooked, you know? So that's why it's so nice. It's literally just a minute or 2 per side. This is the one I use. For some reason I like this because it's like thick. So we'll just do like probably 1/4 of a cup. Mix that in there. I've made a mess, but here is the beans. Oops, we're still steamy. And here are the fajitas. So it's been exactly 7 minutes since I put everything on the stove. So a very fast dinner. Okay, we're about to eat. The rice is probably just about done. For the fajitas, we have some tortillas. We have the steak, peppers, and onions. We, of course, have some hot sauce or salsa put on top. We love red onions. I've got some lettuce, some cheese. Oh, I'm going to grab some guac out, too. We've got the beans and then some sour cream. It's actually just Greek yogurt. Grab a couple of these Greek yogurt packs as well. I get these from Costco, and that's our dinner tonight. Sonny fell asleep, so Michael's outside with him. A lot of times he'll fall asleep at like the end of the walk, and so I'll like keep walking him for a little bit, but I need to eat. I like had my breakfast prepped and ready, set out here. I was just checking my email. And there was yet another birthday invitation. I'm like, I cannot keep up with how many birthday invitations there is. And we only have 2 kids in school right now. Like when they're all 3 in school, I don't know how we're gonna keep up with that. So I have my same breakfast as yesterday. I just did apples on top. I have my egg whites. I have my electrolytes. I'm gonna put some peptides in there too. I just remembered that. But I thought we could go over a question that I saw in my video from last week that I thought would be a really interesting discussion because I'd love to get your guys' opinion on it too. Whoa. Oh my gosh, guys, I was so confused. I was looking at my YouTube comments and I just realized I was on like my original YouTube channel, my old YouTube channel, because that's where I still watch stuff from. And I was like, whoa, someone commented on an old video. But that's because they did. Okay, back into my regular channel here. Okay, this question is from Joan. She says, sorry if you've said this already, but what was the reason for the change in no more Botox, no more filler, doing your own brows? It's refreshing, just curious why and when the change. And then someone commented back, Megan did, and she said, I think she said she didn't want to spend time or money anymore and can do most of the treatments at home. So I thought we could talk about this for a second. Okay, so yes, when it comes to like, I'll say non-invasive things like hair or nails or tan or brows, I do them all at home. And the big thing for me was honestly, like, I can do them at home. You guys know I went to hair school many years ago. I worked as an esthetician. I worked as a makeup artist, like all those different things. Obviously, my other YouTube channel that I just talked about was like 10, 15 years of me doing makeup and hair and tutorials and all that stuff. So like, it's just something that I feel like I'm naturally good at. I will also say a couple years ago, I felt a push or like a nudge, like God was trying to speak to me and say like, hey, you have these talents that I gave you, start using them. And so that's actually why I started cutting all the boys' hair again. So I cut everyone's hair, all 4 of them, Michael included. I cut everyone's hair again. I stopped doing that for many years. And I was just like, yeah, these are my talents and they are valuable and they are worthy and I should be using them and also sharing them again. And so that's something that I did. Realistically, also, it just came down to like saving time in my day and really prioritizing things that are important and fun to me, and things like getting my walk in, things like getting my workout in, the pool cleaners, things like that are just more fun to me and more worth it to me than taking 2 or 3 hours out of my day to go get my eyebrows done. And so I just didn't feel like doing it. And now I will say, because I've been in this industry, I support estheticians, cosmetologists, hairstylists. Like, I really support them and recommend you go to them. If it is not your talent, go to a professional, go to an expert. And if you can do it at home, do it at home. Like, I still go see an esthetician, Francesca, every 2 or 3 months. I still go see her because that's something like facials and stuff, taking care of my skin. I just want to trust somebody else, and I really trust her and I really recommend her. And so I just listen to everything she says to do, you know what I mean? So I pick and choose. Like, that's one thing that I have not given up. But like things like getting my hair done or going and getting a blowout, getting my nails done and stuff, I give up. Also, like, occasionally I will go with my mom to get pedicures, just kind of as like a fun thing to do together, you know what I mean? So yeah, it really just saves me a lot of time. It saves me a lot of money. I covered my grays the other day. Like, everyone was down here getting ready for dinner. I took 5 minutes, covered my grays, came down here, we all hung out, took my shower, and then I was like ready for bed. You know, I just like do it whenever I need to. I don't have to worry about getting in somewhere. It's just really nice. I honestly really enjoy it. There are times where I think about like going back and getting something done, like, I really need to do my brows and I just don't feel like doing it. But at the same time, I'm like, are you really gonna go spend $100 on your brows when you know how to do your brows well just at home? So that's one thing. When it comes to non-invasive things, it's more just like convenience. I feel like I'm decent at it. I like doing it. It's something I enjoy. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so there's that. But when it comes to the more invasive things like Botox, like filler, okay, I felt some discernment on that too, you guys. I felt some discernment, and on that end, I just felt like, I'm not going to never say never, but I just felt like, for me at that time when I was doing it, it was for vanity purposes. I believe you can get filler and Botox and it's not a vanity purpose, right? Like, people get them for migraines, people get them for like, I don't know what they do, like if they have like tension in their neck or whatever. Like, I've seen that, you know, or TMJ, whatever. But there are some times where it's for vain purposes, and I felt like it was something I needed to let go of. I really needed to let go of attaching my self-worth to my looks. Another big aspect of this was going through acne. For the past 5 years, I've always had acne-prone skin, but it has, for the most part, been very, very manageable. And then over the past 5 years, it just went so extreme to the point where it is somewhat managed right now. Like, it's not painful every day, but it is not clear. And it's just something that I have had to learn to live with. And it's also something that has taught me that like my confidence and my self-worth comes from being a child of God, comes from being a mom, comes from being a wife. Like, all those things that make me who I am and make me great have nothing to do with my looks. And for a long time, like with my job being about like makeup and beauty and all this, like showing my face, like it really was attached to my self-worth. So it's a really long, like deep discussion, but honestly, I just felt like it was not serving me in a way that was good for me. Not to mention that was also super expensive. And like, I don't know, I'm not like a penny pincher, or like I'm definitely not like I spend like I'm definitely not, I don't know, like someone that doesn't spend any money. Don't get me wrong. I just like to spend on other things now, right? Like, I just prefer, I have different hobbies, I guess. I have different interests. That's another thing, is like, I don't know, like I'm not in the beauty industry anymore like I was in the past, where like I had to go to events and I had to travel and I had to do photo shoots and stuff. Like, my face is on camera with you guys, but it's not in like a professional setting as often anymore, to where I just feel like I have to look perfect all the time. And that's another thing I've tried to get more comfortable with, is posting myself at ugly angles. So there have been so many times over the years where if I don't like the way something looks on myself, I cut. Like, I hate that I have a double chin. I always have, it doesn't matter if I'm skinny, it doesn't matter, like, especially as I get older, like, that's just my genetics. And I hate it, but I don't cut it. I just leave it in because I'm normal and I'm human, and that's just how my body is, and that's how my face is, and it is what it is, and that's what I look like in person. And so that's another thing, like, I try to keep things in the videos to show that, like, I do not attach my worth to my looks. So yeah, I don't say never say never. Of course, I originally stopped. Well, here's how the schedule went. So I think I got a little Botox, and I may have gotten my lips a little touched up in the like holiday season. So it was like December 2024, January 2024, right? Yeah, January 2024, December 2023, okay? And then you, like, normally if you get Botox, you wait like 3 to 6 months in between. So I found out I was pregnant in July. And so I never had a chance to go back and get it done again. And not to mention, this was already on my heart. And so I had just kind of been like waiting and been like, I'm just not going to right now. Like, I'm just gonna wait it out. And then I got pregnant. It's like, you obviously can't do it when you're pregnant. So then I just stopped. And then I knew I wanted to nurse Sunny for a year. So then, you know, like, you're not doing it for another year. And yeah, and I have definitely seen the signs of aging. I've seen the signs of aging. As you can tell, my forehead moves everywhere. I don't really have crow's feet. Maybe when I smile. I used to get Botox in my chin too. So that's where I would get it. Here, here, and here. I wouldn't get it like all over. I did occasionally get it for TMJ. But that was just like here and there, like maybe a couple times. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just felt like, oh, and then as far as filler goes, I think after I had Rocco, I did do a little bit in my cheeks. Like, I'm talking a tiny, tiny little bit. But then, it's just lips. Like, that's what I would do like once a year. But I also feel like it's hard to say never because I do feel like I had that base, and like, I'm happy with the way that my face looks right now. And I'm like, is that because I had years of Botox in the past? You know what I mean? I don't know. So it's one of those topics where, like, there's so many little shoots you could go off of, but ultimately my main thing was I felt discernment that I was doing it for vanity purposes, and that no longer needed to be part of my identity. But like I said, I don't, like, truly don't care if you do it. Don't judge someone, because I'm not saying that I'm never gonna do it again. I may, I don't know. If I really like look in the mirror one day and I'm like, what's her butt in Freaky Friday, I'm like, I'm the Crypt Keeper, I'll go do it. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's that deep, but I just felt like I didn't need it. And like, I am just as good of a mom, just as good of a wife, just as good at my job, all those things without it, right? And it's one of those things where I think I also got caught up in the industry where it's like, not as many, maybe people are, but not everyone is doing it. Like, you feel like people are online, like not everyone is doing it. And I also noticed that I see like those natural features of women, and I'm like, that is so pretty, like that's so beautiful. And I notice that more now that I'm not in like the influencer bubble, which is a whole other topic, you know, since we moved out of Nashville. I'm like, that's such a big like influencer place, and I just don't have a lifestyle like that anymore. I don't know, you just see like natural beauty is so much more abundant, and it's so much more like unique, and I like that. And so I'm just trying to do my best here. And so, yeah, I do feel like the conversation is also different if you have girls. I have boys, you know, and they don't care or know. And that's, I don't know, that's like a whole other topic, right? That I don't have to have that conversation necessarily. And not to mention, like, I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, but, like I said, if you are not doing it for vanity purposes, I think go for it, right? Like I said, there's many other reasons why you would be getting Botox or filler, and my food is getting cold, and I need to eat. But I don't want to, like, be chowing on camera. So, okay, it's still hot. The other thing I was going to think about or tell you is I'm getting surgery, and I am getting plastic surgery, but I'm not doing it for vain reasons. So if you're Catholic, you may have heard that the Pope recently came out and said that like plastic surgery, if you're doing it for vain reasons, you shouldn't be doing it. And like maybe that's controversial, but I agree with that take. I agree with that take. And I think it really is just a mindset thing. Like if I would have gotten a tummy tuck like right after I had Julian, it would have been for vanity reasons. Now getting it, it's not. It's for functional. It's for as I age. It's for lower back pain. It's for like, it's just for all these things. And I'm like, the fact that my stomach may look better, it's just, it's like, that's nice, but I don't care. You know what I mean? Like that's gonna be nice to have. Like I'll enjoy that, but I would need to get this surgery regardless of how it looked, kind of a thing. So I wanted to divulge into that a little bit too. I am getting a tummy tuck. So with my pregnancy with Julian, I gained like 65, 70 pounds. I gained a lot. With Rocco, I only gained about 20 pounds. I had him a month early. I don't know. I was just smaller during that pregnancy. I started out really small. Like the weight that I was when I delivered him was the same weight that I was when I found out I was pregnant with Sonny. So I was just really small during that pregnancy. I don't know why. He was a small baby. Julian was a big baby. He was 10.5 pounds. And with Sonny, I gained like 30, like 25, 35 pounds, something like that, like 30 pounds. And he was like an average size. He was 8 pounds. So anyways, with my pregnancy with Julian, I developed a pretty bad hernia. And of course I got the stretch marks and stuff. I don't care about that. It's been 8 years. You can hardly see them. Like that doesn't, those truly like really, really fade. If that's something that like you got during pregnancy and you're worried about it, like I'm telling you, those fade. And I don't care about that. Like, I don't know. I'm so used to like my skin has scars now and stuff. So I don't care. But yeah, I developed a pretty bad hernia, and so I've been waiting until after kids to repair it, and I've kind of had to reschedule this once I found out I was pregnant with Sonny. So I've rescheduled it time and time again. We're finally going through with it. I'm having surgery at the end of the summer. And yeah, so I'm getting the hernia repaired. I am getting the muscles around the hernia repaired after they fix the hernia, and then they're gonna remove the loose skin like they would in any tummy tuck. So basically, I did talk about this in a members video, but I just figured I would share it here too. I went ahead and went to my consultation with the plastic surgeon that some of my friends have went to here, recommended, whatever. And he was great. He's like, you know what? The hernia seems pretty big. I want you to go to a hernia specialist. So he recommended a very well-known hernia specialist. Got into him, and he's had me do a CT scan, all the things. And he's like, yeah, he used the word significant. He said, the hernia is of a significant size where you are not a candidate for a less invasive procedure to fix this hernia. You can see it through my clothes. I get DMs on it all the time. People have said stuff to me in person. Like when I'm pregnant, they're like, oh, you have a cute belly button. I'm like, that's a hernia. But anyways, so I'm not a candidate for like the laser or whatever. So if I went through the hernia repair guy, it still wasn't going to be covered by insurance, by the way, which I think is ridiculous. It was going to be a long internal scar right here, and I would not have a belly button anymore. He was just going to like remove my belly button. I personally was not cool with that. When I told Michael, he was just like, oh, okay, so like, are you gonna do that or not? I was like, what? Like, I don't know, that just seemed extreme to me. And I don't know, I was not comfortable with it. And so if you're familiar, when you get a tummy tuck, the scar is lower. And so that just, I already have a C-section scar there, so that just felt a little more comfortable to me rather than having, and he said, he's like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, it's gonna be a significant like scar that people are gonna see, and you're not gonna have a belly button anymore. I was like, I don't know about that. So that's why I'm going through the plastic surgeon. They're like in cahoots, you know, they know each other. They talked about it. Like he's gonna repair it the same way that the hernia specialist would have repaired it and all that. So, I mean, ultimately, I would love to wake up and not have the hernia and not have the muscle repair and not have to get this done. If it was just for looks purposes, I would not be doing it. Not because, I guess just because I don't care. I don't care how it looks. I don't show my stomach necessarily unless I'm in a swimsuit. And I've also gotten to a point where I'm comfortable. I'm fine in a swimsuit. If someone sees it, yeah, I've had kids. I have 3 kids. I have stretch marks. I have a hernia. It is what it is. I have loose skin. I just wear a high-waisted swimsuit and I call it a day, and it doesn't bother me anymore. So that's another thing where I know that I'm not doing this for vain purposes. And it also feels like this, I'm going on so many tangents, but it also feels so annoying to me that women have to explain why they're getting something done. You know what I mean? Like, I've had 3 kids. I don't think I need to explain that this isn't for vain purposes, but you do, you know? And so, yeah, that's kind of how it is. And it's funny because we were even talking like with my family the other day about like how when you're older and like insurance will literally cover like a blepharoplasty, whatever it's called, but that's plastic surgery, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't think all plastic surgery or all invasive treatments are vain. And also like, I also think you can learn from those things. Like, I've done so many things in the past where I'm not like mad at myself for. I think I learned from and I grew from them, and that helped me grow into the person I am today. So I don't necessarily regret those decisions, you know what I mean? So it's a really like, it's a topic that I could talk about for a long time, and I obviously have because it's been 20 minutes. But you'll have to let me know what you think about the whole thing, because I'm sure there's going to be quite a few of you watching this. They're like, hey, I've had this done, or I've got my boobs done, or I've got this done, whatever. And like, I actually really like feel confident now. I feel good, and it has made me, you know, a more confident person. Or I got this done and I really kind of regret it and wish I wouldn't have done it, but I have it now, so I just live with it. You know, like, everyone has different feelings about different things, especially as you get older or as your like lifestyle changes. Oh, that's the thing I wanted to say. Like, being a mom to 3 kids, like, or 3 boys, I mean, like, I don't know, the way that I look is just not, it's not something that matters on the day-to-day anymore, you know, like, they don't care. So that's it, really. Hope you found that interesting. I'm gonna eat my breakfast, work out, sound off in the comments, let me know what you think, and let me know your thoughts on this. I know it's kind of a controversial take. Well, it's kind of a controversial topic. I don't feel like my take is controversial, because my take is just like, for me, I was not doing it for the right reasons, and so I stopped. For you, maybe you are, maybe you aren't. I'm not judging you, you know, like, I don't care what you do. I really am like that. Like, I don't care if somebody else does it. I may observe it, I may notice it, but like, I don't care. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I will see you next week.